If you had a bad performance at the end of your season, you don't deserve a break.
If you had a season, you don't get time off. If your changeup sucks, you better get to work right now. You missed a spot, go throw to the 9-hole for 5 hours.
If you didn't reach any of your goals, you don't get a break. No days off.
You're not throwing 60 at 10 years old, hit the weight room.
If you don't have at least 4 different pitches by the time you're 12, you should just quit.
If you're not 6'2" at 11, why are you even pitching?
If you don't have a social life, good job. You're doing great.
If you're only sleeping 4 hours a night, that's how you're successful. If you're not in varsity as a 7th grader, just stop.
Your parents aren't yelling at you on the way home, you're not doing it right. If you don't pitch every single day of your life, good luck making it to college.
If you had more than 1 walk in 5 games, go figure out how to hit your spots. If you're not striking out 15 people in a 4-inning game, just figure it out already. Don't take a break. Go throw.
If your ERA was above 1 of this summer, you don't deserve to go on the family vacation.
If you gave up 3 hits in a weekend, you don't get to go play with a dog.
Even better, you don't get fed. No dinner.
And you have to walk home.
So obviously, this was a joke.
Yeah.
This is how ridiculous some of you guys sound.
Oh my God. I just saw a post. It's talking about like balancing like sport and life. And it was like, yeah, like if you choose to be elite in sports, like you're not going to have a social life. Like, are you kidding me? Like, here, just don't be a human. Don't be an actual person so that you can be great at your sport. Like, come on.
I'm like, successful athletes have a personality and a life outside of their sport.
Anyway, back on topic. The whole point of us being ridiculous with this is to show you that you sound crazy and you need time off. Like, it doesn't matter whether you deserve it or not because you had a good season or a good weekend or whatever. You could have had the worst season of your life, and guess what? You still deserve a break.
Athletes are trained, like, growing up to where, like, you do something good, you get rewarded. You do something bad, there's some kind of punishment. When it comes to, like, taking a break and letting your body and your mind rest, you don't need to do anything to earn that. And I also think as athletes, we naturally are a lot harder on ourselves. We feel a lot of, like, shame and guilt associated with taking a break, especially if maybe you didn't end the season the way you wanted to, or even if you did end it the way you wanted to, right? There's always, those quotes or those sayings where it's like, well, someone's out there working harder than you, all gas, no brakes, all these things. But if you're pedal to the metal, you're eventually going to run out of gas. All cars need to stop and refill up at some point. So it's the same thing with your body. You can't be all gas, no brakes, 24/7, 365 days a year. That is so unrealistic. And anyone telling you or pressuring you or making you feel guilty for taking a break does not deserve to be in your life.
They don't know what they're talking about. That is a sign of someone who clearly never played sports, not really seriously. And like, it shows. Oh, and if you don't take a break, right? If you don't schedule breaks in your off, like as soon as season is over, your body is gonna find, or life is gonna find a way to force you to take a break. And by the way, Nicole is the queen of breaks.
Yes.
She loves her breaks.
Not at first, but you learn to love them. And once you love them, there's no guilt or shame associated with it. I've even seen some TikToks recently of like college girls talking about how guilty they feel, and all these people in the comments are agreeing. I'm like, once you learn to enjoy it, like, it's the best thing ever. Like, and then you're more excited to go back to it, right? Anyways, sophomore year, I just had my knee scope. I was like pitching again and feeling decent. And then I had this one practice where I don't know if I tweaked my knee or did something where it was like I could barely put pressure on it. I was like crying and in a lot of pain. So I just went straight to the training room. I'm like freaking out. And at this point also, like, I've just been like really stressed from softball school, like everything, just being a college student athlete. And then a couple days later, I ended up testing positive for COVID. And I was like, there's no way, I don't have any symptoms, like test me again. Tested again, and I had it. And so that kind of forced me into a quarantine. And while I still was like practicing, I was just doing it by myself and not using our facilities. It actually gave me the break that I needed. And Coach Gasso even called me like during that and was like, honestly, this was probably like a good thing for you. Like now, you're able to rest mentally, your knee can get like a week off, like just taking a break is probably what's needed for you. And honestly, it was. So it's like, there's sneaky ways of when it just is like, oh, like you're going to be forced into taking time off, and, you'd rather not have to do that. And so planning out your breaks, again, whether you deserve it or not is completely out of the question. Like, it doesn't even matter. But planning your breaks, don't even think about it. Don't pick up a softball. Don't feel guilty about it. Life has a funny way of telling you when you need a break. So plan ahead before you are literally forced to have to listen to your body. So
yeah, and like you were fortunate where it was, a week where you were forced out, right? I had a player this year who she tried to take a break, but had camps, was feeling guilty about taking a break, this sort of thing. And then she ended up breaking her thumb in the middle of the season. And then she was out, and she just literally, I think it was the day after, her mom texted me, was like, you know what she said? Christina was right. I should have taken that break because now here I am. I'm out for 4 to 6 weeks.
And even like the breaks that you take, I think a lot of people and parents, I think a lot of it comes from the parents too. It's not just the athletes. They stress out about like, oh, I'm not going to be as good when I come, like when I start throwing again or when I come back, and I'm going to lose that.
It's coaches too. It's coaches too.
Oh yeah,
most coaches push it hard.
You can go months without pitching, and it takes
a
couple days. Yeah, or years. But that's what I was going to say. It takes a little bit more than a couple days, maybe a week. To get back into like a normal feeling rhythm during like the winter time, like taking a break, 1 to 2 week break, like that takes maybe 2 days to like feel, get your rhythm back, and then you're fine. Like you don't lose anything.
Think of it like this. You take the entire summer off from school, and then after your first week of school, you remember all the math you learned last year, and you didn't do math for 10 weeks.
Like sometimes.
I mean, depending on what your subject is, right? Like you still remember how to do math is the point.
Yeah. It's like riding a bike.
Yeah. So if you play, you get a break. It's that simple. You get a break. Nobody should be putting any sort of pressure on you to come back. You come back when you are excited to get out there and throw again or hit or whatever it is that you're doing. But that's the only right time to come back, is when you feel ready and excited, and not like, all right, well, it's been 10 days. I guess I should go throw. That's guilt. That's the shame of feeling like you're not doing enough. That is not when you come back.
And then even if you're in that mindset, you're not even enjoying your break. If you're thinking, oh gosh, it's day 8 without throwing a yellow ball to a glove, like, tweakers, stop it. Like, just enjoy the time off, okay? Like, enjoy it. Like, that's what it's there for, to like, be yourself, do fun things, rest your body, stop tweaking about it. And breaks never, ever, ever have to be earned. That just shows that you don't respect yourself if you're saying, oh, I have to earn a break. No, respect yourself enough to give yourself a break.